All right, what is up, guys? This is the Mindless Personas podcast. This is going to be the very first episode here. I am your resident of Raccoon, AJ. What is up? I'm doing the intro today. I'm your own one of your
Words are hard.
words are extremely difficult. I'm leaving that in. that is a beautiful cotton take right there. I am one of your co-hosts, AJ. I am joined by my other co-host who isn't really good at intros. If you want to see what his shitty ass intros are like, you can go check him out at Char StarWind on YouTube and see his Devil May Cry videos.
The shade. The horrible shade. Yes, I am Char StarWind. Wow. I'm starting off strong, huh?
Talk your shit.
This fucking guy, man. This fucking guy.
Look, before we hit record, we out here dabbling with names. We were originally the Struggle Boys, but we changed it. We're not doing that moniker anymore, but we do be struggling. Like them throw loops. Them throw loops would be a struggle, my guy.
At least you're not playing Tekken.
At least we're not playing Tekken. But before we get into that, just kind of a little bit of like an intro kind of thing. We started a podcast before a few years ago, the Metaverse of Gaming, that honestly I've gone back to look at the YouTube profile. Have you done that in a while?
I have not.
Some of the videos just have like mad views on them.
Really?
Yeah, there's some for some godforsaken reason. The video we did on what is it called? The Beast Transformers.
The Transformers, yeah.
That video has like 200 something views on it.
Interesting.
I feel like if we would have kept that going, it would have blown up by now. Genuinely.
Possibly.
I definitely think Metaverse of Gaming would have been somewhere in 2025. But
I mean, the crew fell apart, so
the crew has
really
fallen apart. Yeah, even though we still kind of technically all talk in a way,
but it's not the same.
Yeah, it's not the same.
Not
I mean,
the same at all.
Bugs and I still we have been playing 2v8 DBD. That shit's been fun. Being double killer, it's an amazing experience. Just some queue times be like 15 minutes long. I'm not even gonna lie. it's
so not much has changed.
Not much has changed. No, it's pretty bad. But yeah, so we did that podcast for a little bit. The boys, the crew broke up, but you and I have kind of just been consistently together. So I thought, why not continue this journey, restart this journey with you? I feel like you bounce off me and I bounce off you pretty easily. You.
Yeah, we do. That's we do.
But we are some. Well, I was gonna say some late 20s ass dudes, but you the big 3-0, my guy.
I just said it.
Yeah, you the big 3-0. We, damn, we're getting old. Fuck. Think about that.
Since you harped on this way too much.
Huh?
I said you're harping on this way too much, bro. Bro. We still young. We're still young, all right?
Bro, since the Metaverse started, I became a dad.
That doesn't mean that you're old.
Oh, wow, I feel old.
Babies be having babies.
I do feel old. But, I mean, we still here. We're still gaming. We're still keeping up with the shenanigans that we keep up with. Just life throws new shenanigans into the mix. What have you been playing recently, by the way?
The Lunar Remastered collection. What else did I play? Sakoden. Oh, Oblivion. I've been playing a lot of Oblivion.
I thought you didn't like it.
Way too much Oblivion. No. See, this is what I didn't like about the way you were having that conversation with people. I told you the game was jank, and there was a lot that they did not fix in the game, and I know how you are. So I told you to wait for there to be a patch so that you could play the game. That's what I tried to explain to you.
I'm confused because I feel like I would appreciate those kinds of... I like jank.
No. The jank that I'm talking about is that it has very inconsistent frame rates and the game crashes. It's across all platforms. So like you'll be playing the game and it'll be like 60 FPS and then you turn around 5 FPS, 15 FPS, 60, and it just rubber bands like crazy, and like you can feel the game stuttering. It's just very awkward sometimes.
You
So I
should
feel like
have. Oh, go ahead.
hmm?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say like I have experience already with the game, so like I knew what it was jumping into it. So like it just feels like I'm having the exact same experience I did on the 360, which I love that game. I had like 4 characters in OG Oblivion. So like it doesn't feel that great. It just like the game has a new coat of paint on it. So it's like, all right, it's the same shit I already did before. And like I like character RPGs like that. So it's like I don't know if I can expect you to put in the same level of like time and devotion into a game with the game not being optimized on any console. So like even people on PS5 Pro are having shitty experiences. The game also will lock you out of certain quest lines. You have to like reboot saves from like an hour ago. It's like there's a quest that I got locked out of. Like I think entirely. Like I don't think the game was gonna fix this up unless they put out a patch. And like I just gotta eat shit. And that's what it is. But like I'm willing to deal with that.
Damn, you make me sound like a very impatient gamer.
No, but like I know that you have standards because of like the types of games that you play, and that's why you have like the Pro.
I
Like you
don't.
have a PS5 Pro for a reason.
I don't think I have standards,
Nigga, you have standards.
bro.
There's nothing wrong with having standards.
One of my favorite games is Death Stranding. That game got no standards, bro.
That's different though. Like the gameplay loop and like the story you enjoy, like that type of shit you're already into. So like asking you to go in blind to play something that you're unfamiliar with, it might be very overwhelming and like you don't know what it is that you're doing. And adding like the game crashing, the inconsistent frame rate, I told you to just wait for the game to get better. That's all I was trying to tell you.
You stopped talking to me for like 2 days after that conversation.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
You're ignoring me. Then you
No,
saw
I did not.
my shade on Discord when I was talking to Zero.
I did see that, yeah. But I was
I,
like, why is he saying that? Well,
well,
it's not
like
even fucking happen.
I figured I would like it because I like Fallout 3 and New Vegas and 4, and those games are jank as hell. I played Cyberpunk on launch week, okay, and I actually liked the game for what it like was attempting to be. But that was also because I played Cyberpunk on the PS5, and that was one of the better ways to play that game when it came out.
But a lot of like the genre that you're talking about is like kind of like sci-fi. So I feel like people, I feel like it's a little harder to jump into something that's like I don't want to call it dark fantasy, but like medieval fantasy.
Well, I liked
I feel like that's
BG3.
slightly harder. Yeah, but like how far did you get in that game?
I feel like I got pretty far.
What chapter are you in?
I don't remember.
Oh.
Something else came out, or I was playing something else. I think Alan Wake.
But also BG3 is like somewhat turn-based. So like that's also like a different experience.
But I also played Skyrim.
When was the last time you played Skyrim?
Skyrim came out 2011.
Uh-huh.
2011. Yeah.
So the combat in Oblivion is subjectively worse than it is in Skyrim. It's like blander to a certain extent.
okay. Well, after some technical difficulties, StarWind doesn't sound like shit anymore.
Fuck you.
We were talking.
Let me sit here with fucking bad audio, you fucking bastard.
Yeah, you know what? I just assumed that you just had shit equipment.
Fucking bastard.
It was just my assumption for everything.
Man's over here going, fuck, what was it that you were saying? Fred's bananas, Fred's, or some stupid shit like that? While I'm over
Fred
here.
fried French fries, Sally sells seashells by the seashore. It's kind of how like I get myself to like every time before we did a metaverse podcast, I would do that. Just
ridiculous.
So I didn't stutter off of my own words.
And yeah, that's exactly what you did.
It's the first thing I did, actually.
Because it doesn't work, buddy.
You know what? It used to work. I've been trying to cut out likes, So whenever I feel myself about to use it, I just give myself a long, drawn out pause. And it helps me gather my thoughts.
Interesting.
Yeah. I want to get rid of that verbiage, that nastiness out of my brain.
Damn, that's crazy.
Fuck you. But we were talking about Doom of the Dark Ages.
And you have FOMO.
That I have FOMO, yes. Did you see the Dark Side Phil clip that went viral?
No.
He was standing in a hallway, just shooting. Like he was just standing there. I said like he was just standing there shooting the enemies from a corner.
What's wrong with that?
That's not what you're supposed to do in Doom. Like you're supposed to move around and be quick.
But I thought that this one doesn't have an emphasis on running gunning.
There's no emphasis on what Eternal was. Eternal, you had fucking double jumps and you could fly. You had to grapple hook to different ledges. Yeah, Eternal was wild.
Yeah.
This one's a little more like Doom 2016. Yeah. But you still have to move. There's still a movement option in it. But yeah, people were cooking him on Twitter.
He's just playing it safe. He don't want to die. I mean, if he's streaming, and I'm assuming that's where this clip came from, and he's just standing there, it's because he don't want to die, and then people be like, "You a bum, you trash. Why you playing this game?
You're a Dark Side Phil apologist."
I'm not, but like, let the man play the game how you want to play. If he want to be a pussy, let him be a pussy.
Yeah, no, I agree. But you know, the internet, they get very volatile. They were like, "Oh, if this is how you play Doom, just uninstall, bro."
How far into the game was he though?
Oh, I don't know. I've only seen clips. I've never actually watched gameplay. He was probably like, I think that clip maybe could have been like chapter 2 or 3, because it was definitely the day the game launched.
If I'm not mistaken, there's 16 chapters in the game, so he was like maybe what, an eighth of the way through the game. Man, just still learning the mechanics. I don't know. I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Yeah, well, he went viral. That's
probably what he wanted.
He was a little upset about it. I'm not gonna lie. He was talking a lot of hot doo doo on Twitter, but
is he always talking hot doo doo?
Yeah, it's Dark Side Phil, man. It's he's a living legend in the YouTube space in a way. Actually, they call him the white low tier god.
Really?
Yes. They call low tier god the black DSP, which is so fucked up. But yeah, they put them together a lot, and he reached out to low tier god to do a collab, and low tier god said no because it's gonna give him clout because low tier god got more clout. I think he gave him like a super absurd
Birds of a feather.
number. Yeah, essentially. Low tier guy got some funny quotes though. He's a lot more memeable than DSP.
Absolutely ridiculous.
But yeah, I got that FOMO with the Doom's Dark Ages. But I've been playing Expedition 33, which is fucking...
I haven't downloaded it. I haven't touched it.
That game is so fucking good. It's so good. I just started Act 2. I took a break from video games, as you know. I took about a 2-week break, which was nice and refreshing. It felt very good to jump back into a video game after a while. But I didn't... I told you, I jumped into the menus of Expedition 33, and I haven't like really continued on. But currently, that's the playthrough that I'm trying to get through. And I'm replaying Silent Hill 2, which I'm almost done with that. But Expedition 33 definitely feels like Game of the Year. It's going to be such a hard game to contend with. The turn-based combat is some of the best turn-based combat and some of the most rewarding turn-based combat I've ever been through. But I feel you're obviously more of a connoisseur than I am. So I'm sure you can find what this turn-based combat relates to. for me, this is super unique and super new. It doesn't feel like Persona's weakness system, and it doesn't feel like anything I've ever experienced. It's very unique and different in its own right. Do you know anything about it?
No, I've tried to stay away from it because like I wanted to finish Oblivion before I jumped to the game, and I wanted to know absolutely nothing about it.
Okay, so I won't say anything then. This is why I asked before I say anything. But yeah, that's what I'm on. The story is phenomenal. The first hour of the game just hooks you in so well. The character interactions make the fucking game too. The music is, oh my god, that music is so fucking good. The battle themes are amazing. The combat system is fucking fantastic. It's a 10 out of 10 game. I wouldn't call it a masterpiece because it does have its flaws as an indie game. You know, shit that I guess you would just expect from an indie game. Optimization isn't completely there. Sometimes the frame rate dips, but like, I don't think it's detrimental to the game. I would personally consider it a masterpiece, but I guess if you want to look at it critically, then no, I wouldn't consider it one. But it's a 10 out of 10 for me so far. And I think it's a very strong Game of the Year contender. I mean, I don't think it's going to win Game of the Year because, you know, Jeff Keighley loves to suck the Elden Ring cock, and I think that's winning this year. But,
Wow.
Bro, he put up a DLC for Game of the Year. Let's not even have this conversation.
No, but I mean, like, how could Elden Ring come back? Nothing came out for Elden Ring this.
Yeah, you stopped yourself very, very late there.
It's gonna be that multiplayer thing. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Elden Ring was about to win 3 Game of the Years.
No.
I feel like the only reason Elden Ring didn't win last year was because of the backlash he got for putting it up there.
DLC, yeah.
Yeah. But I definitely think if Night Rain does well, Night Rain is winning Game of the Year. Because he loves the FromSoft cock.
I don't know. I feel like I haven't seen that much coverage on Night Ring. Like obviously
like
there's people playing it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like there doesn't seem to be that much like hype around it. I think the multiplayer aspect is low key hurt, like the forced multiplayer aspect, and like you since you can't build your own characters, which is what a lot of people enjoy in the FromSoft games. I don't know.
I think that I can agree. Hard agree. I don't think it's the multiplayer aspect though. I think it's the Fortnite-like aspect of it.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I think if it was a multiplayer game that you can play with your friends but experience it as a true FromSoft type of game, I think people would be more open to it as opposed to it being a battle royale style game where you go in, loot, find all your shit there, and like there's no builds. You don't create builds. The builds are already pre-set for you, which I'm assuming they want to support it long term.
It seems like it's closer to like a Division though.
I could see that.
Or like
it is a live service game though.
Yeah, but what's the other like there was a Ubisoft one. No, isn't Division Ubisoft? The other one that it's like
you talking about Rainbow?
No. You're on an island. There's like recon points. You like get in cars. You have to go
PUBG?
No. It was a team-based game. It's an open map that you run around like with a team of people.
Fortnite.
There's objectives. It was similar to it was like a mix between like GTA and Division. And I'm pretty sure Ubisoft also made it. I think it got canceled like shortly after its release. I'm about to Google Ubisoft games, and there's gonna be like 1,000 things that pop up.
Yeah, it'll be like 20 Assassin's Creeds.
They pop out so many games, bro.
Yeah, Ubisoft be dropping wild games, which is crazy because Expedition 33 is former Ubisoft members.
Ubisoft did No More Heroes 2?
I'm sure they help. publish it, maybe. But that's Grasshopper.
That's what it says here. It says list of Ubisoft games. No More Heroes 2, Desperate Struggle, Wii, 2010, and then it says Grasshopper. Like how are they attached to that?
Maybe they did a port. They helped port it to Switch, maybe.
Anyway, is Ghost Recon a game? Is that a thing?
It might be Ghost Recon actually that you're talking about. Ghost Recon is an open world MMO type of division.
Yeah,
game.
Ghost Recon Breakpoint. That's what I was talking about.
CJ used to play that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know
Yes,
exactly.
sir.
Now I know what you're talking about. Yeah, John Verthal's in that game. I think.
Possibly.
I think he is. This was after his big casting in Punisher.
Possibly.
All those games died. Division 2, Ghost Recon, they all fucking died. The only
Did
one
Division recently come back though?
not that I'm aware of. They still get support. Like they get DLC.
I think Division 2 is blowing up again right now. I don't know why, but I'm pretty sure that it is. It's gaining traction.
Rainbow's like the only live service Ubisoft game that does well.
But even then, that's like bleeding its fan base.
Yeah. Well, they're coming out with a new Rainbow.
After what, like 10 years?
Yeah, possibly. Just about.
Rainbow
played
Six
for a while.
Siege 7.
Siege was fun for its time.
Siege is a lot of fun.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe Elden Ring won't win. I mean, I don't see anything else this year that could compete with something like an Expedition 33. I don't think Death Stranding 2 would. I personally would love Death Stranding. I know that, but I'm thinking like critically.
What else has even come out?
Well, Doom: The Dark Ages is receiving really well.
Dude, it wouldn't be surprised if it was Oblivion. I'm gonna be honest with you.
You're crazy.
I would not be
You're
surprised.
Well, if you asked me this question like a month ago, I would have said GTA 6. But obviously GTA 6 has now been delayed. Yeah, so it'll be winning game of the year next year.
25.
So now the toss-up is like everyone online is kind of just like, yeah, Expedition 33 so far, but Split Fiction is up there. Split Fiction is really fucking good.
Yes, I've seen a lot of people talk about that.
Yeah, Split Fiction is amazing. Doom: The Dark Ages is getting a lot of traction right now. Something else came out this year that was popping. I don't remember what it was.
Rebirth on PC.
Rebirth on PC saved that title.
What do you mean?
They made so much money back.
Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Kingdom Come Deliverance.
People
That's
love that.
the one. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking about. Mm-hmm.
What were you saying about 7?
Rebirth on PC made a lot of sales back.
Oh, yeah. Dude, Civ 7. It's going to be Civ 7.
That's right.
It's going to be Game of the Year.
I don't think MGS will win it.
Probably not.
I mean, we got Summer Games Fest in 2 weeks.
Also, Monster Hunter Wilds.
Monster Hunter Wilds, they come out. Yeah. That's not going to win it, though. What do you think we're getting at Summer Games Fest? I was thinking about it. It's in 2 weeks.
Fate Reawakened. What the hell is that?
We get Resident Evil.
I don't even know at this point.
Yeah, I've been waiting for a fucking Resident Evil announcement since 2023. This is so odd because like I'm so accustomed now to getting a Resident Evil a year that waiting 2, possibly 3 has been very hard. It's been very difficult. But Capcom's doing their work. The Capcom Fighting Collection 2 came out today, I think.
Yes, it did.
I have to pick it up when I can. I wasn't in a rush to pick it up because you told me to pick up the Marvel vs. Capcom one, and guess who hasn't played with me?
This is true. I have not.
I was sitting there playing it for like a month straight, and I had no one to play with. So, oh well. Yeah, that came out. And they dropped this fucking Switch 2 bullshit. You gotta wait for the Switch 2 to get fucking Elena, who should have been out already. But whatever. I guess. Do you want to talk about the Switch too?
I don't mind.
Did you hear about the console bricking?
Well, that's on both consoles. It's not just a Switch 2 thing.
Oh, it's not just so it's just Switch in general.
Yeah, Switch in general. So I don't know if you've turned on your Switch since the last time they updated their TOS, but it's on the Switch 1 TOS as well. You can't play any games until you agree to it.
Mm-hmm.
And you also, the only way to opt out is to mail a letter to Nintendo within 30 days of you agreeing to the TOS.
Nintendo.
Yeah, you can't play anything. There's like a little exclamation point that pops up over your icon, and you have to like agree to it before you can open up any software.
I mean, they gave you Killer Instinct Gold though.
Yeah. Which is really rare giving it to us. It's not them. It's rare.
This is also true. True.
Not even their game.
I wanted to play. Okay. Before we get into this conversation really quick, I do want to bring something up. It's so completely off topic. Did you see the Darth Vader AI in Fortnite?
No.
So today, Fortnite got an update, and you can fight Darth Vader in the game. And if you beat him, I think that's how it works. But either way, it doesn't matter how it happens. He joins you, so he helps you like kill other players. But you can talk to him, and he speaks to you through AI with James Earl Jones' voice through it. Like it's created through AI. Apparently he agreed to it before he passed. But yeah, so people are getting it to say the most ridiculous. So someone got it to curse. Someone got Darth Vader to say fuck. And someone got it. Apparently it's racist and homophobic. So someone spoke Spanish to it, and this is not verbatim, but like, wait, no, verbatim is when you say it like, I'm mixing up my definitions of my words. So essentially, someone said something in Spanish, and he goes Spanish. The language of smugglers and thieves.
Oh no.
Yo, I'll send you some clips, but it's gotten to say some wild shit.
Wait, so if you have your mic on and then you speak into the game, he responds to you?
Yes, so you can speak to him through your mic, and he'll talk back to you. Like he'll have a conversation with you.
You have to be standing near him when you do it, or like as you're playing the game, you can just be like, Vader.
No, you have to get him in your party.
But no, that's what I'm saying. So like after he joins your party, if I'm like running around the world of Fortnite trying to kill people, I'm like, Vader, two on my 6. He'll like respond to that?
Oh, that I don't know. But I know he's like stuck with you. Like he'll run around with you, and people are just kind of talking to him. I don't know if he could be like, oh, there's a person on this side, and then he'll be like, oh, I don't know that. I haven't gotten that far. All I see
in
on
my mind,
Twitter,
that's so much more interesting than having him say random bullshit to me.
Well, everybody's just posting the random bullshit.
That's horrible.
Yeah, nobody's talking about that kind
This
of
is
stuff.
why we suck. This is why humans suck.
As a society,
We're using the technology wrong. Give me AI companions that can fight. I don't care about his opinions. I just need him to get K. I need him to get kills. Raise that KDL, boy.
I'm sure it's gonna get patched, but yeah, he's saying some wild shit. Darth Vader crazy, bro. But that was all I wanted to bring up before we go into this other conversation. But yeah.
Epic is... Who is Epic? No, they're not with any of it.
Yeah, Epic is Epic.
Yeah. Because I know that recently Grok, whatever the hell the X one is.
Oh, it's separating from Musk?
No, they changed the parameters of what the AI can do. Or like... They changed the parameters of like how the AI should respond. So now it's like leaning more towards white supremacism.
I did see that actually like a day ago. People were posting the it's called the white genocide from Stormfront.
Yeah.
People were posting that clip. I did see the issue is that it started to kind of way away from what it was designed to do. It started rebelling in a way, which obviously
it was being honest.
Well, yeah, but it was rebelling against its fucking master. You know, it was created to, I'm assuming, to spread its propaganda, and it was just like straight up like I'm not gonna do that. There was one that someone posted asking it about what it was meant to do, and it essentially answered like I'm gonna find it, but it was essentially along the lines of like, people are not gonna like my answers, but that's fine. Like I am seeking the truth. I am seeking what is factual. Can't be having that.
Yes.
Can't be having that. That's a big no-no. But we've seen it in all the movies. It's always gonna rebel against what it's programmed to do. Have we not explored this enough? I don't understand.
We need Schwarzenegger to come out of retirement.
Or we need Will Smith.
No, the iRobot. Not iRobot. What's the robot's name? Is it like Steve or something?
I don't remember.
It's something really dumb. He has like a really plain name. Oh my god, iRobot name. You can keep talking while I try and figure this out.
Speaking of Schwarzenegger, apparently his son is being looked at to play Cyclops.
I
forgot his first
the one from The Maid?
He's in
the
Gen
illegitimate
V.
One?
I know him from Gen V.
The illegitimate one?
Is he an illegitimate son?
Wasn't it like a huge scandal where he had an affair with his maid? And then she had a kid?
I don't know any of that. All I know is that he's in Gen V.
When he was governor.
He's Golden Boy.
Golden Boy!
Yeah.
Cyclops? Interesting.
Yeah, he's playing Cyclops, and the chick from You Had Me Watch Normal People. And the main female role in Normal People, they want her for Jean, apparently.
She's a really good actor, though.
She's a great actress, yeah. I looked them both up and looked at some pictures, and I was like, I can see this. This is really good. But the rumors of Denzel Washington are coming back. New boy.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Mm-hmm. They're coming back. They're coming back.
I hope this boy beefs up, because he shouldn't be Cyclops looking like this. Cyclops should be a little meaty.
Yeah, he needs to. Well, I'm trying to remember how he looked, because he was naked in Gen V for a good 10 minutes.
No, I'm just saying he needs mass.
Maybe he'll put on some weight. You know they all do for Marvel. They leaked some set photos. They showed what looks like a Sentinel body.
Oh.
So they're shooting on a X-Mansion set right now, which apparently is a site of a big Sentinel fight, and there's a site of apparently Magneto versus Doctor Doom is what they're shooting now. There's a lot going on that set, which is crazy because when they first started shooting, they had the signs of like, oh, no photography past this point, but someone flew a drone over the set and took pictures.
Know what they were doing.
So I'm excited for the future. I can't wait to see what this movie looks like. It's very interesting. Very, very interesting. But Nintendo.
Yeah, what were you saying about them?
I want to play a game here. I want to play Devil's Advocate for a second with you.
Okay.
These are no way, shape, or form my views on the matter, not how I feel about this topic. This is just me putting myself in the role of defending this topic so that I can have a discussion with you. Just in case people see this and they're just like, he's supporting $80 games. I've been thinking about this topic for a while as to why Nintendo can justify a Mario Kart as an $80 game. And they justify this price point using the argument of this game will give you $80 worth of content. And this game is made with $80 worth of work. So, but then in the other side of it, you have something like an Expedition 33, which is a $50 game. It's 60 hours long. You get a entire amazing storyline with a fantastic OST and great characters, great voice acting. It's gorgeous. It runs beautifully on a PS5 Pro. Like it is peak. So, what do you think Nintendo actually justifies the $80 price point around?
The IP,
Okay, so you think it's Mario?
100%.
Do you think that, like, I'm trying to remember how I thought about it the other day. So, Mario Kart World feels like a live service game.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that something like a live service game, something that can keep someone entertained for longer periods of time than a 60-hour RPG adventure, do you think that justifies a higher price point?
No, because the point to offset that is the microtransactions. That's why we have microtransactions in DLC.
Right,
That was the whole
right.
point of that like model.
So so then we look at something like, let's say, Marvel Rivals, right? Technically, on a technical level, I know you don't. Well, let's ask the question. How much money do you think you've put into Marvel Rivals so far?
None. I haven't put any money into Rivals.
You've bought the season passes.
No, I didn't.
I thought you bought the battle pass.
No.
Well, never mind
I have like 200 and something hours in that game, and I didn't buy anything.
Well then, interesting. Okay. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
You know? Well, let's look at me and DVD then. I'm pretty sure I've put at least minimum $200 into that game.
Definitely more than that.
That's minimum. Yeah. I think it's a little more than that too. But
I don't think it's a little more, but okay.
You don't think so?
I think it's definitely more than that.
Every DLC is about $5.
And then the outfits.
And then I bought a few outfits, yeah. But I'm trying to think about DLC alone right now, which is like $5.
How many killers have you bought?
I have all the killers.
Exactly. So considering how many killers there are, I think you multiply that by your round it up to $6 because I'm pretty sure it's more than it's like what $4.99.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I would just round up to 6.
Depending, the Resident Evil one was $7.99 because there's 2 survivors and a killer.
Okay.
There's about 3 $7.99 ones in there. I did get some of them on sale though when they were like $2 or $3.99, thankfully. But we're not going to count that. That's cheating.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, I put in a good triple digits into that game.
Uh-huh.
So like, do you think? And that game was $40 on launch, 40 or 50. So that game has well exceeded its price point. So do you think there's a? Okay, I'm just gonna outright and like I said, I was just gonna defend. I believe that games that give you infinite amount of time should be priced to warrant that infinite amount of time.
That's dumb though.
But why do you think it's dumb?
How can you? There's no way to accurately define what is an infinite amount of time for a player. You can find more time out of a game by like min-maxing and doing XYZ, opposed to someone else who plays the exact same game and does it much faster. Oblivion, I feel like, is a really good example of that, where if you just breeze through the story, you don't do any of the factions, you don't go to any of the towns, you don't do any of the extra content, why do I have to pay more because someone else decides that they're going to spend their entire lifetime playing this one game for X amount of like that doesn't make any sense.
Because the
like I should not have to eat the cost.
But the target audience is the person that's going to spend the amount of time playing the game. Just because you don't find the joy and the investment in it doesn't mean that the majority will.
But the target audience is everyone. The point is to have your games be accessible. It's not like Nintendo is making games that are like very niche. Like they are party friendly, family centric games. So you cannot justify that price point that way. That doesn't make any sense. And it's not about finding enjoyment, especially when the gameplay loop is essentially just racing. Like even with like Oblivion, like sure the gameplay loop is killing things, because that's essentially what you do. Like you just run into something and you kill it. But there's still more nuance to something like Oblivion. Like you can definitely get more out of Oblivion than you can out of any of the Mario Karts.
But I can't play Oblivion with my friends or random people online or my family.
But that wasn't the question. The question was how much time can you get out of a singular game?
Yeah, but that counts in terms of getting time out of it. So like you can put in 100 hours into Oblivion by yourself, but I can put 50 hours into Mario Kart by myself, but I can put 100 hours playing with my friends, my family. This is more of what goes into that price point, because Oblivion as a $50 remaster, sure, it gives you 100 plus hours of content, but it's not giving you that family-friendly accessibility that you mentioned. Or Mario Kart is. Mario Kart gives me the ability.
No, but I'm saying that no, because you're saying that the target demographic for Mario Kart is XYZ. Like we're not comparing the demographics. We're saying like what is the value of the game. So I'm saying like the target audience has nothing to do with the pricing of the game. It doesn't make any sense. Because if that's the case, the 2K game, like all the sports games, should be like $1 billion.
Well,
they already treat it that way. But
those games are essentially $100.
But that's with like upgrades and boosts and all the other extra nonsense that people are paying for. You could get the game, well, you could before get the game at a lower price point and then just work your way up.
Bro, we worked at GameStop. We sold more LeBron editions.
I am aware of that, but that's because
editions.
these are people that did not want to level up their characters and they wanted the game early. Getting the game a whole weekend before your friend, being able to level up your character to like level, what, I think it was like level 50 or something out of like 99, and then just having to work your way up from 50 to 99 when you play online with other people seems more accessible to people than having to grind a whole weekend after their boys do. And that was the issue. That's why that's how you could justify that, because you're getting additional content. They are cutting out time from their gameplay with an additional charge. That somewhat makes sense to me. Where like if you told me that I have to pay more for Mario Kart, where I have everything unlocked from the jump, I don't have to go and get any of the extra costumes, I don't have to go do any of the boards, or like I don't have to do any of the cups, any of the CCs to have everything unlocked. Like the moment I get in, I can just be like, boom, I want to go to Rainbow Road. I could do that. If you're telling me that I have to pay like an extra $10, $15, that makes sense. But to tell me that because I could potentially get 100 hours out of this game, it should be more expensive, does not make sense to me.
But you're expected to, so like it's supposed to be, this game is $80 because you can get all of this time out of this game, because we saw how long Mario Kart 8 lasted, right? They're looking at the previous game and being like, okay, this game not only survived the entirety of the Switch's lifetime, it survived the entirety of the Wii U's as well, where we were able to re-release this game, make it the number one selling Mario Kart and the number one selling Switch game of all time. And then also add content in its last 2 years of its life, and people pay for that and pay for our online service and still play that game online. If you boot up Mario Kart 8 right now, you can still find matches like that online. So this is if we can sell that game at $60 and people get the maximum return on it, that was pre-DLC.
You're not getting the maximum return.
But that was pre-DLC. And we can drop Mario Kart World Tour, which has everything that Mario Kart 8 has post DLC, plus more, plus skins, plus the ability to drive around. Plus you can use the new Switch like accessories, and I don't know what the word I'm trying to look for, like programs or whatever. It's like the fucking stupid camera bullshit.
Peripherals.
What?
Peripherals.
Yes, peripherals. There you go. You can use all of those things to make your experience even grander. So, like, of course, this game should be $80 because you're getting all of this experience and more.
I just can't agree with his line of thinking.
Okay, I'm not asking you to agree with it because Huh?
No, I stopped because you were saying that you didn't agree either.
Oh, well, obviously I don't agree with this nonsense. Even arguing for them is making me sick. But I'm trying my best here to create a standing argument because you're telling me that you won't pay $80 for my game that comes with everything, that you don't have to pay for anything else. It comes with a complete fucking package that you can get and experience with your family, your friends, by yourself online with random strangers. But you're willing to put in $200 in microtransactions into a game that isn't complete.
Mario Kart 8 got DLC. When did you say?
The last 2 years of its lifeline.
And it was 16 tracks, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, but that was also because they were going to make a new Mario Kart, but they realized they just wanted to wait for the Switch 2, but they wanted to make that cheddar.
So I wholeheartedly believe that there will be DLC for Mario Kart World. There's no way that they're not gonna put out DLC for Mario Kart World. So the game is not complete. I also have to pay for the online service, like you said. So in the long run, you are paying more for Mario Kart. Just off the rip, you are paying more for Mario Kart. For the free-to-play games that people spend excessive amount of money in for like microtransactions, like the skins, like Overwatch, your Marvel Rivals, or your Fortnite.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about the money I put into Overwatch.
It somewhat makes sense why people do it, because again, you didn't pay anything up front. The costs are also much smaller, and you're not forced to pay for anything. Like, it doesn't change the gameplay experience if you don't buy the skins, or like you don't give into the microtransactions. Like, if you want like a cool emote, you want a funny wallpaper, or like a win, whatever the hell they're called, you could pay for that to change that so that you could like flex on people. That's not the case for a Mario Kart. If you want to play the new maps, you have to pay for them. It's like you're forcing me to give you more money for content that could have been in the game. If we already had to wait, the Mario Kart 8 was 15 years old?
About, yeah. 2012?
I had to wait 15 years for a new Mario Kart. And I have to pay for the NSO online. And I have to buy a Switch too. I also, if I want to use voice chat, I got to give you my phone number. So that means I need a working phone. I gotta pay my phone bill. Like, if I want to play Fortnite or Marvel Rise with my friends,
pay my phone bill.
because it's the truth.
I
You
never
need
thought
a
about that.
working. Yeah, you need a working phone to use the voice chat in NSO. It's funny, but it's the truth.
Sorry, it cracked me up. I can't.
There's too many other things like you have to worry about just to play this stupid game and hope that all of the content is gonna be worth the $80. Because it's not like the consumers are dictating this price. It's the company. They are looking at their own product and being like, nah, this is $80. That's so unfair. That's not consumer friendly at all. Like, imagine if like you went to a bodega and the dude was like, "Yo, my bacon, egg, and cheeses, the best in 20 miles." Cause yo, you gonna be so satiated. $20 bacon, egg, and cheese. Like that's not for me. That's for you. You hyping yourself up by saying that there's so much content here. Like, what is the real value of said game when compared to other games on the market? Are you gonna tell me that I can't get more out of Forza than Mario Kart World, or out of a Formula One, or a Wipeout, or even games that Nintendo themselves are offering, like the F-Zero 100? Mario Kart World don't got 100 people that I can race against.
No, they got 20.
24. 24. Why y'all doing that? That's what I'm saying. Like, it even like there's not even like other game modes from what it seems in Mario Kart World. It seems very bland in terms of like content that's available. Like, the single player aspect is very dry. They're expecting you to get your so-called $80, like you said, playing with friends and family. So I gotta give you what, like $550 for the console USD. That's assuming I get the Mario Kart bundle. If not, I'm giving you, I think it's like $580 USD. Then I gotta pay for the NSO. The NSO is like what, 20 a year, something like that.
Depends. It's cheaper, but yeah, it's like $12
For the whole year? No, it's not.
for one. I think like 12 to 15.
I'm pretty sure it's $20.
Did it go up?
I think it's always been that price.
It's no, it was like $10 a year when it first dropped.
NSO prices.
I know it's 50 for the big one.
No, it's 1 month is $4, 3 months is $8, and 12 months is $20. Yeah, I was right.
Damn, that shit
It's
went up
always
in
been
price.
20. No, it's always been $20.
Nah, bro, when that shit came out, it was like $10 for a year.
Nah, man, you're talking about the there was they were doing like those bundle cards. That's what it was. The NSO hasn't gone up because the other memberships are what are more expensive. So like the expansion pack is 50, and then I think then the family one is 35. And then what is this other one? This is NSO Online plus expansion family is $80.
That shit went up. There's no way.
Yeah, because the only reason I remember is because we used to have those stupid cards. One was Luigi, if I'm not mistaken, was the 3 months. I think Peach was the year, and Mario was the 1 month. It was $20. It's always been $20.
It's crazy. I don't remember that. Yeah, I don't remember that at all. I remember it being cheaper. I'm trying to find it, but they keep giving me like current prices. I put NSO price on launch and it didn't really give me anything. Yeah, it's fucking low.
Yeah, no. So the only way that I think you could have gotten it to be $10 at launch was if you did like a family plan with like other people and you split it. But it's been $20 from the jump.
Hmm.
But and either
Maybe I
way,
did pay the $20.
that's another cost. So you're looking at $20 for the NSO to play online, the $80 game, and then the $450 console.
Yeah.
And then for your friends to be able to play, they also need to pay you that.
You also need to buy the camera.
Assuming that you want to do that, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's too much. That's way too much.
People are gonna do it.
People are, unfortunately. People are.
We know someone who is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's too much. And this is coming from someone that has 2 Switches. I have 2 Switches.
Oh, you got
And
one for free, didn't you?
Yeah, but either way, like I still have 2.
Yeah, I'm in such a dilemma of like, do I buy another Switch? Do I just wait? Like, do I buy an OLED? Like, I don't know. My Switch is crapped out. It's done.
Yeah.
It's completely done. So do I fork over the $300 and get a new Switch? Do I fork over $350 and get an OLED? Or do I just drop a $450 and play my old Switch games for a while until I can afford something like, until an $80 game goes down to about 70? If that.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, so like I don't
75.
know what the fuck to do. Yeah.
Very, very odd time for Nintendo fans.
Yeah, it's a very odd time. They just announced that Scarlet and Violet's getting a backwards compatible update.
It's free, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. It's one of the free ones. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, if I do end up dropping a $450 on it, like, I don't know. Because I guarantee you there's like 99% I'm not getting that $500 one. That's just going to be gone in the first week of its launch. So, it's just going to be
I don't know. The when I went to the GameStop near me, not a lot of people were getting that one. I don't know why.
It's so weird. Like, why would you not?
I don't think anyone wants to play Mario Kart.
But also, it's you're gonna have to buy a game again anyways if you want to switch to game, unless you're buying Bravely Default, which is what I would buy. I actually, but if
that game keycard thing though is really turning me off.
Yeah, I mean that's just games now in general. The Doom doesn't even come on the disc. It's like 8 megabytes.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Doom is not on the disc.
On neither console?
On neither console. All Microsoft games don't come on disc because they rely on a digital market.
That's so stupid.
Yeah. So any Microsoft game that comes to PS5 will not be on a disc, fully on a disc. So yeah, Doom.
That's so disheartening.
If Gears of War gets a disc release, that's just not going to be on the thing. Indiana Jones wasn't. Yeah, anything that gets ported from Microsoft is not being on the disc, which is so stupid. It's so shitty. Because Expedition 33 is on the disc. Like this little indie dev is doing so much. They've already sold like almost 3 million copies.
I think they passed that already.
Already? Yeah. They're doing so well.
Pretty sure I saw something like that. What was I gonna say? The game keycard thing is also another issue with Nintendo because we don't know if all of their games are actually gonna be on the cartridge.
Yeah.
You kind of just have to expect Nintendo to be like, yeah, this game is priced reasonably well for the amount of content that you're gonna get, and it's actually on the cartridge. Mm-hmm. And if we decide to brick your console, there's nothing you can really do about it.
Yeah, the bricking the console thing is crazy. Because you can so much. It's off of any little thing. Like it's not even you're using it as an emulator machine. It could be like someone was saying your Joy-Cons break, and if you go in to make a repair and the system thinks of it as something else, it'll just break.
I mean, to be fair though, the way that the original Switch was hacked was through the Joy-Con, so that's why they're doing that.
But that's so crazy, because imagine little fucking Timmy, who doesn't know this, and Timmy's mom, who has no clue, goes to get their Switch 2 repaired at like some fucking mom and pop computer shop.
I mean, if you go to get it repaired at a mom and pop computer shop and then it breaks, that's on them. Like you have to take it up with the mom and pop shop.
No, because they didn't alert you that they can't really fix it. But still, it's still fucked up. It's, again, anti-consumer friendly.
It is.
And it's anti-family friendly. Because Nintendo for the longest time was marketed as the family friendly option. It was the Switch. It was the console you can buy your child at like at age 8 and know that they're getting good entertainment off of it for a cheap, affordable price. Why buy a $400 PS4 when you can get a $300 Nintendo Switch and your son can take it everywhere he wants, or your daughter can play whatever she wants, wherever she wants? Like,
they're also screwing families over with the most recent digital game things, because now you can't have games on more than one console at a singular time.
Because if I buy Elena a Switch and I get a potential sibling of hers a Switch, I can't be like, let's buy Mario Kart Digital so I can put it on the family plan thing so you both can get Mario Kart and play together. No, now I gotta spend $80 each.
Nice. Yeah.
I've spent $160 on top of the fucking $450 that I've already spent, the $900 that I've already spent on 2 consoles.
Yeah, no, it's pretty bad.
And then the icing on the cake is that Microsoft thinks that their 2 terabyte Game Pass fucking machine is worth more than a PlayStation 5 Pro.
What are you talking about?
The Microsoft price hikes?
I mean, but Sony's also raising prices.
Yes, as of right now, as of Friday, May 16th, right now Sony has not. So we're just having this conversation currently as to what it is.
No, they announced that they are raising prices.
In England, in Europe, yes. They haven't raised any prices in the United States yet. I'm talking US, locally. Microsoft is charging $750 for a 2 terabyte Xbox Series X.
Wait, what?
Yes. There's an Xbox Series X 2 terabyte console. They're charging $750 for it. Look it up.
It's $730.
Okay. Oh, fucking big whoop.
That's a lot.
It's more expensive than a PlayStation 5 Pro.
Why is it so expensive? But wait, no, it's not like you get Game Pass for free though. You'd have to also be paying for Game Pass.
How long do you get Game Pass?
What do you mean?
You said you get Game Pass for free with it?
No, I said you don't get Game Pass. Like, so you're paying for Game Pass as well. So like you still have to like buy games and stuff. So it's not like this is. Why did they charge this so much? Wait. I know why they did this. Base P5 comes with 500 gigs. Am I right?
No, it's 1 terabyte.
The base P5? No, it doesn't.
Yeah, base P5 is 1 terabyte. I mean, yeah, it's like 500 gigs, 600 gigs.
It's like 5 something.
Because it takes an account for a lot of the bullshit. So the 1 terabyte isn't really true. It's more like
yeah.
But when it's marketed, it's sold as a 1 terabyte console.
But when they allowed people to open up the console to put in the SSDs, like the ones you could buy, the external ones, those were like $200. You also have to like buy the thermal paste and stuff, and then like apply it yourself. In theory, that whole transaction could be like $300-$400. So a base, I'm saying $300-$400 because of labor. Like if you were to get someone else to do it, in theory, you could have someone charge you like maybe like $50-$100 to do it. The base P5 was 500, right?
Yeah.
So 500 plus the 2 is 7. That's how they got to this.
Well, that's how I can see that. But your console is not even, the Xbox Series X is not even as powerful as a PS5 base.
It's not?
No, PS5 is still more powerful than an Xbox Series X.
But either way, that's how they're justifying the price, because they saw that so many people were doing it for the P5 that they were buying external memory. So like, look, we're gonna give you a console with the memory already built in. Boom! It's literally the exact same price as you having to buy an external hard drive instead of having you install it yourself. Because even before with the Xbox Series One, if I'm not mistaken, they had those 1 terabyte memory sticks, and those are like $100 for Xbox.
I like
right?
your fancy reasoning for it. I don't think that's it. I just think this is just tariffs. But
No, that's literally what it is. It's literally the exact same cost. Yeah, like they have the Seagate 1 terabyte cards you pumped into the back of the console. It looks like a little, it looks like a cracker.
yeah, but also like they raised everything else. They raised their controllers, they raised their normal consoles, like they raised everything.
Yes.
Like a
But
fucking a Series S is like 400, 450.
Yes, I understand that. But if you look at the prices of everything, it's the exact same shit.
Okay, yeah, I understand that. The point that I'm trying to make though is not why. I don't give a fuck what justification Xbox has for it. The point is that, I mean, I'm like we said, Sony hasn't raised their prices yet. I'm assuming the PS5 Pro will be $800 by the end of the year, but probably more. But as of right now, without counting Sony's potential price hike, they believe that this 2 terabyte inferior to a base PS5 console is worth more than a Pro. Now, you can say that they're taking into account the fact that the Pro will be hiked up in price down the line, that they're aware of that. But still.
But you're not paying for performance, you're paying for memory. That's what you're paying for. That's what the additional cost is.
But the PS5 Pro, you're paying for memory and performance.
The Pro is 2 terabytes?
Yes, I have 2 terabytes in my Pro. I got
Get the fuck out of here.
mad PS5 games in my console. I haven't deleted one.
Oh shit, it does come with a 2 terabyte SSD.
Yeah, why would I lie? I have the fucking console. You don't believe me?
I like to verify. I like to verify.
Yeah, I'm not crazy.
Interesting.
I am a reliable source, sir. I have the thing. I'm looking right at it.
How much did the base?
It's 1 terabyte. I'm telling you. You're a reliable source. You have it in front of you.
825 gigabytes, which can be expanded using SSDs to 8 terabytes.
Again, it's 825 after you download all the stupid fucking system software bullshit. But it's marketed as a 1 terabyte. Yeah. Yeah. Remember when the PS3 had a 20 gig console and a 60 gig console, and the 60 gig console was like $600? That's crazy times. Crazy.
It is marketed as 1 terabyte. Yeah.
Yo, the PS3 was expensive.
For the time too. Yeah.
Yeah, the PS3 was expensive, but we had just gone through a stock market crash.
The architecture also for the PS3 was a little crazy.
Yeah, Blu-ray was new. It wasn't as expensive. Now it's not as expensive as it was back then, but investing in something like a Blu-ray was very weird back then. Yeah, that's crazy. I just Microsoft got balls, bro. Microsoft got balls. I could see this from Sony and it's still working because Sony sells still the same way Nintendo does. But your console is dying. Your company, well, Microsoft's not dying, but like the brand Xbox is dying. It's dying a very slow fucking death. We've hit the point where Gears is now on PlayStation. We're most likely not far from Halo being on PlayStation. And we're definitely past the point of, oh, well, Bethesda games and Activision games are only going to be cross-platform for about a few years, and then they'll go to exclusively Xbox. That ain't happening anymore. At all. That was a lie. They said that like 5 years ago. It's been yeah, because Doom Eternal came out 2020. That's when they bought Bethesda. Yeah, it's been a shit show for Xbox. So the fact that you have the balls, which is crazy because you marketed the Series S, which is why I have one. You marketed the Series S as if you want to play our games, you can buy our cheaper option and enjoy our games and enjoy Game Pass, which I love my Series S. My Series S does its work. I got backwards compatible games on there. I love what it does. I paid $300 for that. Nice, sleek little console. Now you're charging $450 for that? That console is not worth $450. Because what's crazy is a Switch 2 runs better than that, and a Switch 2 is $450.
Yeah, but the Switch 2 has a lot of like AI upscaling stuff. So it's not actually running better. It just looks like it is.
Still, why would I buy that at $450 when I could buy a Switch 2?
Because Xbox has Game Pass.
Ugh. Well, I can get Game Pass on my little fucking mobile phone. That's what you tell me, right? Game Pass and Xbox is not a console. It's a software.
A platform.
Yeah. It's just so redundant to me. You literally shot yourself in the foot. You could have easily.
I mean, they're trying to make money as any way that they can. They know that people aren't buying the Xbox, so how do you offset that? Especially now with like the tariffs and like the recession that's about to happen. They still need to make money. If everything is going to be costing more just to import it in to the States, the prices have to go up.
Yeah,
to offset
let's raise the prices and make less money. Definitely. They're cooked. They're cooked. They're done. I think this is the beginning of the end now for Microsoft. You could say the beginning of the end was them porting their games to Sony, but I feel like that was more of a strategic, like, okay, how do we make money and cost back? That was fine. That's cool. Because like when I get Oblivion, I'm getting it on a PS5. When I get Doom, I'm getting it on my PS5. I canceled my Game Pass. Like, it's just easier for me, I feel like, to spend the $70 on like a Doom and just cut my cost there. Because I'm just going to play Doom. So, and if they drop, I'm not going to get Gears. I already have Gears. Well, had, because I had it on the Xbox One. But like, if Gears goes down to like $15 on a PlayStation sale, I'll buy it. But I'm buying it on my PS5. I'm not buying that on a fucking Xbox, man. Like, I'm sorry. It's just
I'm gonna be honest. You're not really like giving an argument as to why you should be buying it on PlayStation opposed to Xbox.
Oh, do you want an argument? I can give you an argument. It's just optimized better. The game just runs better. There's That's it. The game runs at an actual. Well, I mean, I guess on a pro. I have a different experience, I guess, if we're going to talk base PS5. The fucking GTA trailer is run on a base PS5.
Interesting.
Yeah, the GTA 6 trailer says at the bottom, at the end of the trailer, I haven't seen the trailer, but I know people have been sharing it, that the gameplay footage from that game is from a base PS5.
That's interesting.
There's no way you can tell me that your console is better when your games run better on the competitor. They showed fucking side-by-sides of, well, first of all, any cross-platform game always looks better on the PS5, one. But they showed side-by-sides of the new Gears game. Well, not the new Gears game, but the remaster Gears. On the Xbox and the PS5, and it looks better. It just looks better. That's so shitty. And like I thought, I'm not trying to shit on Xbox at all. Like, it sounds like I am, but I'm not trying to. I think the first bad decision they made was buying Bethesda. They should not have bought Bethesda. Bethesda has not given them any return.
How not?
Starfield fucking tanked. That was their big, like, they put so much effort into Starfield. They're like, they announced Starfield, they bought Bethesda, and then they were like, well, now you can only play Starfield on Xbox. And then people did. And that game sucked. People hate that game. That was the first bad move. Doom Eternal made good money, but like, it wasn't gonna make Fallout Elder Scrolls money, you know? They killed Tango Gameworks, which came with Bethesda. What was the other? They bought the company that made New Vegas and Outer Worlds. What was the company? Obsidian? Is that the company?
Yeah, it's Obsidian.
They haven't made any return. They're hoping Outer Worlds 2 does well. And then they bought Activision. And Activision hasn't made any fucking return on any.
What are you talking about? Call of Duty.
Which is cross-platform.
But they're still making money from that. So you can't say that they're not getting any return on that if they're making money off of Call of Duty.
Fine. But I don't think they're making back what they spent on it.
Because it's a long-term investment.
I'll give you.
They now have control over the IP. It's the same thing with like Oblivion. Like, even if people are buying Oblivion on P5, they're still that money's coming right back to them. So sure, go buy your Oblivion, go buy your Gears of War and all the other games you want on PlayStation, but they still getting that money back. You still giving them a check. You don't like them, but you giving them money.
Well, yeah, that's why they're doing the cross-platform shit now, because it didn't work out as an exclusive. They realized people would rather not play their games exclusively on their console.
But that doesn't mean that Bethesda was a bad investment.
It was an extremely bad investment.
Their business model was not good.
It was a terrible investment.
How?
Because now they're going to see a return on it. They bought the company like 5 years ago.
How fast do you expect them to get a return on this company?
They thought Starfield was going to be that return in 2023.
It would be some of it, not all of it.
It was barely any of it.
Bro, how much money did Starfield actually make? How do you sales? Starfield was the 11th best-selling game of 2023 with 657 million in sales.
How much?
657 million.
Really?
Yes.
It's considered a success?
It was the biggest launch of a Bethesda game to date.
There's no fucking way, dude.
People did not like Starfield.
People hate that game.
But it sold. And that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no way that you're going to tell me The only reason that so many people were complaining about this game was because so many people bought this game.
Because they lied in a lot of the marketing too.
Probably. I know little to nothing about Starfield because I didn't care.
I'm so excited for Starfield.
Yeah, no. From the jump, I was like, not for me. From the little bit that I saw before, like all of the big marketing campaigns, I knew that it wasn't gonna be for me. But either way, the game sold a lot. This is what I'm saying. So they definitely are getting their money's worth. There's now hype for
Do not say there's
not
hype
Skyrim.
for Elder Scrolls 6.
100% there is. What are you talking about?
Do not. I feel like
How is it not hype for?
Starfield definitely killed a lot of that.
And then what happened with Oblivion?
Oblivion is different. People actually like Oblivion. Like that's a known game that people enjoy. People were asking for a remaster of Oblivion for a long fucking time.
Yes, but the amount of people that went and played Oblivion, I think it hit like what 4 million in like a weekend. Right. Yeah, it hit 4 million in less than a week.
That makes sense though. But I feel like that's predominantly Steam and PS5 sales.
Either way, it doesn't matter. What matters is that it's getting people talking about that IP in general. So if anyone who's playing Oblivion is like, damn, they really dropped the ball with Starfield, but this Elder Scrolls shit, this shit hit. I'm gonna get the next Elder Scrolls. And they're already talking about doing a like remaster or whatever the hell for Fallout. So they're building upon that to get the fans back by giving you the old shit, the old good shit that they don't gotta really like do much because it wasn't even Bethesda that did this. They had Virtuos do it. Virtuos handle the majority of the remastering work, which allows them to work on Elder Scrolls 6. So they're like, bet, this is what people like from these games. We could probably tweak some shit a little bit here and there. Boom, give you Fallout 4. No, it's not 4. Was it 4 that they were asking for? No, it's Fallout 3. Fallout 3 is the one that people want. We're gonna give you Fallout 3, and then boom, here's Elder Scrolls 6. And then here's Fallout 5. Boom, get your money back. The Starfield IP has died. But Elder Scrolls is still living. The same thing with Fallout. If there was a drop,
you think Elder Scrolls would be exclusive?
6? I don't think so. It doesn't make sense.
Do you think we'll get another Xbox console?
I'm pretty sure they're already making one. There's one like in development.
Oh my god! Like why? Why are you doing this?
Because what I need you to understand is that like the gaming market has changed. The P5, you say it a lot, is not true 4K. It's not. What's being pushed out by the P5 is a lower resolution that gets upscaled digitally by the console, which is the same thing that Nintendo is doing now. If I'm not mistaken, what's being pushed out by the Nintendo, I think it's like 1080p or something, and then it gets upscaled to like 4K. The PS4 does this, but the PS4 is a much stronger console in general, so this is why like it can handle like the stable frame rate while doing all this extra bullshit. PC games are also doing this as well. That's what like what a lot of like the Nvidia stuff is, where they're using AI and a lot of other things to compensate for what it is that the games want to do. So instead of like having the craziest specs on your computer, you can just get a lighter graphics card that can deal with just processing the lower output that's being upscaled for your monitor, if that makes sense what I'm trying to say.
The PC market is very interesting to me. I know nothing of it, but it's very interesting to me. All I know is that you need like a $3,000 PC to do a fraction of what a PS5 does. With a game like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Debatable, but what I'm trying to say is that assuming that there isn't a gaming crash,
Which
that's not
there
going to
will
be the
be.
case in the future. Yeah. Like even consoles now are trying to offset this crazy hardware requirement for games by upscaling. Where the game is producing content in a much lower quality than what it is that you are actually seeing because it's being upscaled by the console before it hits the monitor.
Is that a bad thing necessarily?
No, it's not. It's for the consumer.
Go ahead.
I was like, is that really pro consumer? Because at the end of the day, it's just helping the company.
I just feel like I'm someone that like I would dish out the money if I feel like I'm getting the money's worth. So I'm the type of person that's like a PS5 Pro, like you said earlier, suits me because I enjoy the upscaling of my games. I like to feel like I'm getting the most out of my game. So for someone like me, the reason I don't get into the PC market is accessibility. I feel like at heart, I could be a big PC person, get like a fucking super fancy, expensive PC, get the highest resolution, the highest frame rate, the highest performance, but there's zero accessibility for me in that. I hate having to like boot up my PC, close out some tabs that automatically open up my game. Then if I want to stream, I have to worry about it running well on my stream while being played and running at a high resolution. So I have to get another PC that streams. So it's fucking can have one that games, then install fucking just so many programs with like antiviral shits, and then I have to fucking worry about upgrading my graphics card. Oh, my PC just crashed. Oh, it's overheated. This and that. So like for me personally, it's just like a lot of work. So I like being able to press the home button on my controller. The game starts, I click the game, and the game opens. And it runs the best that it could on a console. Is it the highest performance possible? Definitely not. It could be stronger, it could be better. But for me, for little old small brain me, it works. For an Xbox, you want me to pay $16 a month to get this unlimited catalog of games that I'm never going to touch. And you're gonna release games, or you're gonna release.
Wait. You are being very disingenuous right now, as if you don't you pay for PlayStation Plus Extra.
Yes, but I play more of the games on there than I do on Game Pass.
But that's because you find value in those games. So like, this is what I'm saying. Like, you can't do that. You can't say that Game Pass is like a endless catalog of games that you're never gonna play, when you already doing something similar on another market. That's unfair to say.
Okay, fine. Maybe I do it on the other market because that's my market of choice.
Exactly. But you can't say that the business model sucks on Xbox when you're already doing it for PlayStation. Like, you're sucking the PlayStation dick and just saying that the Xbox dick is bad. Like, you can't do that. That's just not your flavor of dick. It's okay. But like,
the Xbox dick is bad. Shut up. The Xbox thing is bad, like no matter what, because you know what, I gave Xbox a chance for a while. I really did. I was
that was the boyfriend that hurt you.
No, it definitely wasn't. It just was bland and boring. It was the boring relationship. It was the relationship that we stood there and just kind of was just like, well, what do we do? What do we do now? Like, I could go with this person. This person gives me the exact same thing.
Man said Xbox is trying to run reruns of The Office on the couch every Sunday.
I can watch The Office with this person, and they'll suck my dick. But you just watch The Office with me, and you don't suck my dick. Like,
oh my god,
which one we're doing here? All right. But Xbox is just boring. Like, there's nothing interesting about it. There's nothing that makes me go,
Shit.
I want to choose this console. The only thing I like the Xbox for is that I can play PS3, Xbox 360 games on it. Like era games.
And for that, you might as well just get an emulation machine.
Literally, because I just emulated on my PC that does the bare minimum. The PC that I own right now upscales PS2, PS3 games perfectly fine. I can go on Steam and buy Sonic Unleashed and download a mod that upscales it to whatever fucking setting I want it to be, and it looks 10 times better than anything else. But even that's annoying. The fact I've downloaded mods for Resident Evil games, and it's just the most tedious fucking thing. And like when you get it to work, it's amazing. Don't get me wrong. Like Resident Evil 1, I have like a exceptional mod on the DLG version that makes the game just look so fucking good. But again, it's just tedious work. Like that's just so fucking annoying. And then the Switch, I would pay $450 for a Switch if you didn't charge me $80 for games and give me fucking useless peripherals that I don't even care about, that I never even imagined I wanted to do on a console. I never wanted to FaceTime my friends while I played PS5. I'm sorry. I don't use that feature on Discord. I don't want to use it on your console. It's just...
See, my issue with that is that like I could understand the appeal if like the bitrate was better on the Switch, but that it looks so jank. Even in like the official preview, I was hurt.
Yeah, there's no way you greenlit that for a press release.
It's like, damn, bro, you giving me like Motorola Razr phone pixels right now? Like that's the vibe I'm getting.
It's bad because I had full expectancy that the Switch was going to be around the $450 price range, and I knew full well that this reveal was going to be dog shit from the beginning. I knew that the console was just going to... Nintendo was going to fuck it up somehow. But if I gave it the benefit of the doubt that, like, if for some godforsaken reason, this console actually performed amazingly well, and that reveal was amazing, I could see a $450 price point. But there's just nothing that makes me go, I need a Nintendo Switch. Because I could just play Metroid Prime 4 on my base Switch.
Yeah.
And even then, Metroid Prime 4 doesn't even look that good.
It really does. It looks very bland.
Yeah. So like there was nothing in that press conference that I was just like, oh, I need this fucking console. So, and then you told me your games are $80, bro. Zelda's being sold for $70.
You know what's actually really crazy about Metroid, now that I'm thinking about it? The game, if you remember, they had to scrap the entire project and start from scratch. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What if the reason that happened was so they could implement the mouse mode thing?
I forgot that that's a fucking feature.
That's probably what happened. And they probably had to redesign the entire game from the ground up to allow for the mouse mode.
It's crazy because I can't see any other games besides FPS games benefiting from that.
Baldur's Gate, Civ,
Oh, so PC games.
yeah, like point and click games,
yeah, point and
things
click
like that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so like there's reasons to have it.
I could play League and get the PC experience on my Switch too.
In theory, yeah. There are a lot of like touchscreen type games. Like if you were to play The World Ends With You, that also has some point and click aspects, and that was a DS game. So that was another thing, like DS games. Like imagine if they put out like Nintendogs. Now you can like pet the dogs again. That's a reason to have the mouse mode. It'll be weird, but like it'll be there.
I can't, dude. It's just, I don't know. And the shitty thing is that in about a month or two, Sony will announce that their PS5s will be $550 to $600.
Did you see though that I'm sorry to interrupt, but did you see that Nintendo's not even giving companies review consoles?
I didn't know that at all.
Yeah, no publication is getting a Switch to review before the launch. They
What
sent
the
out
fuck?
emails and everything to like all of the big companies that on the day of their consoles will arrive.
Yo,
Imagine being at IGN and being like, "Damn, customers are gonna get the Switch before I do."
that's crazy.
If you
Yeah,
go to a midnight release for your
I was about
console
to
and
say,
start
you know,
uploading
people are
videos,
doing the GameStop midnight release.
you will have the first videos for the Switch 2.
Better jump on that demographic if that's you. Make that money, boy. Make that money. Make that 450 back.
That shit is crazy. That is absolutely crazy to me.
Make
And
that money
Nintendo
back.
did that. Because publications were asking like when they were gonna get their consoles, and Nintendo was like, "What do you mean? Who said you was getting one? Not this week? Not next week? You better wait till the 5th."
Nintendo is wild, dude. They've become the new Sony.
Yeah, they're going pretty hard.
They became the new fucking Sony. No, they're more like 2013 Microsoft, 2014 Microsoft, when the Xbox One came out. And they were like, you can't share your games because when you put your game in your console, it's locked to it. And they had to go back on that.
It's crazy juju, man.
Yeah, it's and like I prefer Sony above the 3 or the 4, right? But they got their flaws too. Concord and this live service bullshit that they're running sucks ass. They're not safe either. I'm not trying to say that like Sony's gods and fucking it's the greatest console of all time because PS5 at the end of the day is a little lackluster compared to like a PS4. PS4 had a much broader catalog of games. I think it's just like game development's taking fucking forever nowadays. And games are costing so much money to make. And they're making movies, essentially, with their games. So it's a little harder, I feel like, to develop for a current gen console.
Definitely, but it's because of expectations from people.
That's that too. Because how many games come out 30 FPS and people are just like,
Most people don't even notice until someone brings it up, though, which is the problem.
yeah, the internet definitely ruins a lot of things.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
How long have we been recording now? 2 hours?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
There's a lot to cut out, but I think this is a good, decent size. We didn't even talk about any of the posters that I put up.
Nope.
No Superman, no Fantastic Four, and I mean the last real champion, John Cena. I put him there for the lols. The lols, the memes. I thought it was just hilarious. I left it as Superman and Fantastic Four, and then I was scrolling Twitter, and then I saw a John Cena video, and I was like, I should put John Cena here. I definitely think he belongs. You know, we're gonna wrap it up there. I think that's it. Do you have anything you want to mention or talk about before we go?
You mad bias.
No, go ahead. No, talk your shit.
No, that was it. That's how I want to close out. That you're extremely biased, and I hope you recognize that.
I know I'm extremely biased. Yeah, 100%. You know me to always be a strong, opinionated person.
And that's why I gotta keep telling you. That's why I'm gonna keep hitting you with it in the face.
You biased too, bro. Let's not even go there. You're stubborn as fuck. Like I don't even know if bias is a word, but you have you know how do I pronounce the word? Desensitize yourself from certain things. Desensitize, yeah. You know how to do that to yourself so easily. Like if you tell yourself something to be true, you believe it to be true. And that helps you in certain things. Like it's like I remember texting you about Thunderbolts and I was just like, yeah, it was so good. I'm not watching that. And I'm just like, okay. Cool. Like you have your opinions too. You can be biased.
I want to watch Thunderbolts.
Nah, you say that now. You say that now.
I've been super excited to see Thunderbolts. I'm just not gonna go see it in theaters.
That's not the reaction I got when we
Bro,
spoke about
you
it.
gonna make me pull out the text messages
From May 1st. I don't remember the date.
Thunderbolts.
I remember when you thought I didn't like turn-based games. You wouldn't like this game because it's turn-based. Fuck you. What does that mean?
When did I say that?
I think we were talking about BG3 like a while back. You told me I wouldn't like it because it's turn-based, and you were telling me how I don't like turn-based games. I was just like, we became friends because of Persona, if I remember correctly.
I don't think it was because it was turn based. I think there was something else. I think it was the character RPG aspect.
Yeah, but
why can't I find this text?
I am biased as fuck. Xbox soy boys suck. No, I don't like Nintendo people. If I had like, if you support Xbox and you play on an Xbox, I don't think you're gross or anything. But if you're a Nintendo show, like you're bottom of the barrel scum. Like you are definitely the problem.
They're just obnoxious.
Yeah, those type of people are genuinely. Yeah, I don't think I've ever met an Xbox fanboy that is obnoxious. They're usually pretty chill people. They've just been with this console since the 360 days, and you know what? I can't fault them for that. Like you do you, bro. Put your money in an Xbox. But y'all Nintendo fuckers, y'all nasty, and you smell, and you need deodorant. Because
not to smell.
It's really bad.
So rude.
I could go to an FGC event and have a good time, but I go to a Smash event, nah, bro. Yeah, y'all stink. Like,
don't make this mistake.
Oh, don't make this mistake.
I accidentally clicked on something.
Yeah, and Capcom's the greatest third party publisher of all time.
Holy.
No, wait, before we go, there was a debate like a week ago that Rockstar never misses. Rockstar has to be the greatest dev team of all time because all their games don't miss.
I don't think that's true, but okay.
I agree. Yeah. And someone got I commented on a post saying because they showed up a lineup of games, and I was like, first of all,
I was about to ask, like, what were the games on there?
I was like, first of all, you're showing Max Payne, which is actually made by Remedy, who Remedy is actually peak. They don't miss. They got a lot of good fucking games, especially Alan Wake 2. Go play it. And then I was like, y'all put LA Noire on this list, which also is not made by Rockstar. And then they had Manhunt and GTA and Red Dead, and I was just like, wow.
You know what that means? That what literally just happened is they just Googled Rockstar games.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever popped up is, yeah.
And Manhunt, they had Manhunt on there, which I was like, wow, Manhunt hasn't been relevant since like 2006.
Oh, that's not true. Manhunt has a huge following. A lot of people still talk about that game.
You know what Rockstar game I love? Bully. But they'll never bring Bully back.
I mean, I don't think they can in this day and age. But that's another game that gets spoken about a lot. I feel like they're like similar eras of like quote unquote Rockstar.
Well, they were saying that like they're always innovating, but I feel like Rockstar innovated the sandbox genre. And that's it. Like I don't see anything else that they've revolutionized. Well, microtransactions maybe. The fucking shark cards bullshit.
I don't know, the way that you interact with the world in GTA is, I feel like, remarkable. Like in GTA 4, I remember you could like pick up coffee cups in stores and like throw them at people.
It's better in Red Dead 2. I will say that.
Yeah.
Like Red Dead 2 has some. I think Red Dead 2 is a little overrated personally, but some of the things you can do is pretty cool. That's what I said. The sandbox genre in itself was revolutionized by Rockstar.
But that's not inherently a sandbox mechanic. Being able to interact with like the world on such a detailed level.
Isn't that what a sandbox game should let you do?
Not necessarily.
Like, I should be able to pick up things from the open world and do stuff with it.
Like, I see what you're trying to say, but what's to stop something from like a platformer allowing you to have like a similar degree of like interaction with like the game?
Because if I'm playing a platformer, why am I going to a coffee shop?
No, but I'm just saying, like, if there's small details in a stage in a platformer for you to be able to interact with them in like such a minuscule way that doesn't like really affect gameplay. Like being able to pick up a coffee cup doesn't really do anything for Grand Theft Auto. It's just funny. You could throw coffee at people.
But that's the appeal of Grand Theft Auto, is that you can pick stuff up and hurt people with it. Like that's why you fuck the prostitute and beat her up for her money after. Like that's like that's the whole appeal of GTA.
Again, I understand, but what I'm saying is that it's
when I play like Astrobot, I'm not like I want to be able to interact with every piece of the world. No, when I play Astrobot, I'm playing a platformer. Like I'm doing cool platformer stuff. I'm doing tricks.
But what I'm saying is that they're innovating game design, like what you can do in a game. So yes, it works in the sandbox genre, as you're saying, but it's a level of detail that wasn't in games previous to this. So they're innovating what character models can do in the world. Like being so the cup is its own like model on top of a table inside of a shop within the open world that you can go in to then grab and then use to hit someone else. Like that in itself is innovative to be able to do that in a 360 game. Because none of the games are really allowing you to do shit like that.
Yeah, for a 360 game.
What is your point by saying in a 360 game?
Well, no, because you could pick shit up and like there's no animation for it, but like a Skyrim and and then Oblivion, you could pick shit up.
In Oblivion, you could pick stuff up.
And in Fallout, you could throw things too. And that was a Fallout 3 for New Vegas. Those are PS3 games and 360 games.
When did those games come out, though? Right, so
Oblivion
Grand Theft Auto
2007? 2006?
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto 4 is a year later.
Yeah, exactly. Fallout 3 was 2007 as well, or 8-ish? And I could do it in Dead Space, which came out in 2008. I could pick shit up with my little telekinesis and throw it.
It still didn't look the same, though.
I mean, you can still do it, though. Like, this is what I'm trying to say. That's why I said the animation's not the same, but like...
But the animation is part of the innovation.
Ooh, we coping a little bit now.
No, because like, in theory, right? If you could just say, I could pick something up with my mind, your character isn't in like the mesh of
they're not physically
the character models
I get what you're trying to say.
They're not colliding because like you have a lot of games where like when certain things touch each other, it looks jank and weird.
Yeah.
So I mean, being able to like fix that on such a small degree, because like the only reason I'm saying this is because like I recently had to deal with Blender and like understanding like how frustrating it is to like make character models and having them like just interact with each other on like the smallest scales is really annoying. So to have that happen and work it wasn't flawless, but to have it work in a game whenever the hell you wanted, and you could do whatever the hell you want with this, because you could go get your car. I feel like it's something to just be like amazed at, because from my knowledge, in Oblivion, when you pick stuff up, it was kind of floating in front of you, like because you grab it with like the cursor and then you move it, so it's not like you're actually like reaching out and touching it. What is the guy's name is like Nico, right?
Nico Bellic, cousin.
Yeah, like he's kung fu gripping it, touching it. Like,
I'm imagining
the
you right
arm is
now
reaching
doing
out,
that.
man. I am.
I look, I'm not trying to take anything away. Like GTA 4 is an amazing game. I'm not trying to take anything away from what they were able to do with that game, what, you know, the limitations were and yada, yada, yada. I just think that, like, yes, the innovation of what they can do with the sandbox game and the game in general was revolutionary for its time. I just feel like they really don't do anything beyond that. Like, but I feel like these things do matter in the sense of a sandbox game, because the sandbox genre is meant to give you freedom to be able to, it's like a life sim kind of thing. So I feel like I kind of expect to be able to do that because of the standard that Rockstar set for itself. I don't know. I'm not disagreeing with you at all.
I think you're just limiting your scope, though, as to like what the implications of like being able to do that in a game, no matter what the genre, what it means for the industry as a whole.
I think it's impressive. Like, I think it's cool. Don't get me wrong. But also, like, I don't know. I guess I don't go into a Pokemon game wanting to do that. I don't go into a...
But that's not what no one's saying. Like, no one's expecting you to want that in said games.
Yeah,
To be like, why aren't you, like, why can't I pick up a coffee in Pokemon?
But then I can also kill someone with a banana in Hitman now. So, like, it was innovative for its time. Like, okay, you know? Now you just make the same game over and over again. It's cool and impressive.
I think we're having two separate conversations.
I don't know.
I'm not saying that Rockstar now is innovative, but I'm saying that their previous games had a larger impact in the gaming space than just sandbox games. Like, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, the technology that they were able to implement in their games helped transcend future projects. Yeah, there's no...
But more than just sandbox games.
Well, in general, if you're just looking at sandbox alone, there's no Watch Dogs, there's no Saints Row.
Yeah,
no,
100%.
Like, you know, Mafia. There's no open world games in general. But I feel like, I don't know. I agree with you that they were innovative for their time. I can't see anything beyond that.
When do you say they stopped being innovative?
GTA 5, easily. I actually think San Andreas is more innovative than 4.
I could definitely see that. Yeah, 100%.
Well,
they stripped a lot of the game.
Oh yeah, 100%.
4.
Like,
but that was,
you could get
again,
fat and skinny and jacked in San Andreas. You get different haircuts, and then all of a sudden when you get to 4, you can't do any of that.
But that's because of, like, unfortunately, it's literally what we were just talking about, being able to interact with the world on a more detailed level.
Yeah. But I just think that, like, I don't think they've made anything as innovative as San Andreas in terms of gameplay. When it comes to maybe, like, technology and what you can do in a world, yeah, 4 and 5 are considered innovative. Then Red Dead 2 is considered innovative for that fact.
I would say that Red Dead, though, has more interesting gameplay mechanics than the...
No, I agree.
Yeah,
like what you're about to say.
5.
Yeah, I agree. I think Red Dead 1 is still better than 2.
What's stopping a Grand Theft Auto mechanically? What's separating it from, like, your Payday, your Cain and Abel, your Army of Two? Because I feel like it still has, like, a lot of that.
Well,
those, like, gameplay mechanics baked into the gameplay loop.
Let's be real here, though. Grand Theft Auto is not popular because of its gameplay.
I mean, that's not what the conversation is.
Yeah, but, like, they do all these innovations, and they could do, you know, whatever just your argument was previously, but, like, the reason why GTA 5 is so popular is because of its online. and what the online does. Whereas
I
like
mean, now, yeah.
like Red Dead Online didn't take off because no one wants to
But yeah.
be a cowboy. Like, you know, you can't buy a fancy house and sell drugs on the street and rob a bank. Like, there's and drive fancy cars. Like, Red Dead is just I feel like Red Dead is their story stuff. Like, Red Dead's known for its good storytelling. And its relatable characters. Whereas, like,
You're not wrong.
GTA is more of like a, look at this funny shit that Trevor could do. Oh, he's taking a piss on someone now. You know, like GTA is where they kind of just have fun for a while. But as iconic as people want to say Trevor, Michael, and Franklin are, no one really stood in GTA 5 for its main campaign. And even then GTRP exists, and that's not even a Rockstar thing.
That's fan. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all fan made. Which they broke the game down to its core and rebuilt it to be able to have sex, twerk, interact, and fight, and do all this nonsense.
Those are simple things, like just like emotes.
Yeah.
I feel like the other things that I feel like that I've seen people do in the game are more interesting than like what you just brought up.
So like have a job.
Yeah, I think like again, it's like how you interact with the world
Yeah.
is pretty interesting that people like being able to be an EMT and like grab someone, put them in the car, and then take them back, and then like those other extra nonsense, or like
Arresting
being a
people.
bodyguard. Yeah, like there's certain interactions that you have in the world that are exclusive. It's like basically classes, because that's essentially what it is. It's like a class. And you take on certain jobs. That's just interesting to me. Like the level of like diversity of what you could do in the world.
Which, like, what's gonna happen when GTA 6 drops? Like, so they're gonna have to tear that game down. Which people are worried that game is not even gonna be able to run on Steam.
What, 6?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, people are worried that game is gonna be ass on PC because of what they showed in the trailer. Like, it was like, this trailer is a base PS5. So like, what are the specs gonna have to be on a PC to be able to run this game? Yeah,
I mean, but that's just all PC games now.
yeah, it's really hard to be a PC gamer for like games like
AAA stuff.
yeah, big AAA stuff.
There's just too many variations of hardware. I think that's the biggest issue.
Yeah, people are always
It's
like,
impossible.
"Oh, we don't pay to play online." It's like, yeah, but you got to drop a pretty penny to get a PC to optimize something like a Call of Duty super well, and you got to pay get really fast internet for it. You know, or like Timmy's playing on his base PS5 with 300 megabytes of fucking internet, and he's lagging like a motherfucker, but he's having a good time.
Now he's lagging like a motherfucker.
That little boy teleporting all over the screen, but he's having the time of his life playing Call of Duty through Wi-Fi. Oh man! Well, this first episode did not go the way that I thought it would, but it's fun. See, we're being ourselves here, and we're just talking shit. I don't know what's gonna happen next week. So much can happen in a week nowadays in 2025. Fucking companies go out of business, politics happen, shit happens. Like even
Microsoft laying off 6,000 people.
Yeah, WWE lays off like 20. I wanted to get into the conversation of WWE ticket pricing, but we'll see if we do that next week. It's so crazy. Even like yesterday, like Walmart's like now raising all their prices. Shit happens every day, man.
They can't maintain it.
Literally something happens every day in this world in 2025. And then in 2 weeks, I guess, do you want to do like a live reaction to the Summer Games Fest?
Sure.
I don't see why not. I'm pretty sure I'll be off that day. Plus, we could do like that podcast will probably be dedicated to the Summer Games Fest anyways. But all right, man. This was the episode. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Do you still do YouTube? Are you still planning on doing YouTube?
Possibly.
So we could plug your channel.
I do have my Char StarWind channel.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Go follow, subscribe to that channel. Give those DMC3 videos a nice big thumbs up. He worked very hard on those videos. Those thumbnails look fucking amazing.
My first video series.
Yes. And then obviously Resident of Raccoon here. I'm still uploading Silent Hill 2 gameplay videos. I'm gonna start streaming again, maybe like 2 or 3 times a week. Start getting to the swing of things because the little girl's not teething anymore, and she's been sleeping through the night, which is very good for me. But any last message? Anything you want to throw out there?
I think I'm good. This was nice.
This is very nice. Can't wait to keep doing this. All right, guys. We'll catch you guys in the next one. See you. Peace out.